all the time. It could be a lot of things, but she needs to.
Are the rumors sure you're ending soon? I don't even know for real. She had me CPSL, seeing colors that weren't there. But at the time I had a little piece of.
Wait, Vroel, did you give us the good news?
No, I didn't.
I don't think I ever got a response.
I could do it
to my
after this.
message for
After
what
this.
I
After
said,
this.
FR,
After this.
but
After
it's
this.
okay,
After this.
I guess.
After this. I'll never forget the time I had a little piece of fancy chocolate and then I started feeling funny later. I was dead ass remembering. That's all I remembered. Nigga, how the fuck you accidentally have an edible? What? I had a 1,000 milligram bag of chips and I got drunk, ate the whole bag. Wait, nigga, they got chip edibles? The hell? I got drunk, ate the whole bag. Spent 4 hours trying to sleep, panicking, thinking I didn't have a tongue. Yo, that's some crazy work. Bro, 1,000 milligrams. First of all, 1,000 milligrams is insane. But you ate that bitch accidentally, all of it, because you were drunk. So not only did you eat 1,000 milligrams, but you ate 1,000 milligrams and you're crossed. Chip our discs sound fi. Bro, what? They got edible everything? Shit, I wouldn't know for real.
Blood work done to find the cause of this.
Crossfade of doom. They got 1,000 milligram edible
murder and incarceration.
Drunk.
This next one is about a small town, the kind where nothing seems to ever happen. The story was posted on Reddit in 2015, 8 years ago, by a lady with an account that's now deleted. The short of it is that she grew up in a small town and was friends with a guy named Jay in middle school and high school. Jay was a fun, well-liked class clown type. After high school, Jay joined the Marines but got dishonorably discharged after less than a year for undisclosed reasons.
His
personality changed slightly when he returned. Shortly after, Jay was arrested along with 2 others for kidnapping, torturing, murdering, and dismembering a drug dealer. This arrest.
But how does it go from worse to worse to worse to worse to worse?
This was very. His personality changed slightly when he returned. Shortly after, Jay was arrested along with 2 others for kidnapping, torturing, murdering, and dismembering a drug dealer. This arrest was very similar to a story featured in the news here, and hence why some believed it was the real-life version of the Reddit post. The details seem to align perfectly. Both happened in a small town. Then the details of the kidnapping and
the fuck does vaping do? Does it actually have effects to just have vapor come out of your mouth? I don't know. I have no idea.
The assault and dismemberment was done. Also,
I don't know why people do that shit either.
It's not just strangers you should be scared of. This isn't really a story I talk about much, mainly because it's something I don't like to dwell on, especially since it has a lot of what-if situations. The biggest one being, what if he was never caught? I'm getting way ahead of myself here. I guess the best place to start would be with a little background. I grew up in a super small town. This isn't really a story I talk about much because it's something I don't like to know. There. I think in the last census we had 800 and something. In a small
less than 1,000 people live there, blah blah blah.
Town, the craziest thing that happens is shooting a 12-point buck or what kind of tires Jimmy put on his truck. People either grew up and moved away, only returning for family events, joined some part of the armed forces, or were there for the rest of their lives. Yeah, it's that kind of town. Since the town was so small, you knew everyone in your grade and most people in the grades underneath you. We also didn't have the whole popular crowd. Everyone pretty much got along with everyone else. That brings me to the main person in my story, a good friend of mine named Jay. Jay was your typical class clown guy. He had fiery red hair and his personality made him just a firecracker. He could make anyone laugh and he got along with nearly every person he met. He was just a great person to be around. Our friendship began in middle school. I believe it was 7th grade when I first met him. We had history together and our desks were in a little pod where he sat right next to me. We would copy each other's work, share our snacks, and he made me laugh so hard I couldn't breathe every single day. He was a great friend to have. If someone messed with me, he'd tell them not to pick on his little sister. As we grew up, we stayed decently close. I wouldn't call him a best friend, but we were good friends nonetheless. Right out of high school, Jay went straight to the Marines. He wasn't gone for even a year before he was dishonorably discharged. When he came back, he was slightly different. He didn't tell a single person, as far as I knew, why he was discharged. He didn't talk about the Marines much. Eventually, he became the same old Jay I knew before he left. We became pretty good friends again, picking up right where we left off. At least once a week, Jay would text me and ask me how I was doing. He'd come to my house for parties or just hang out, and I did the same with him. We knew a lot about about each other, or at least I thought I did. On a pretty uneventful week in January, Jay texted me about a party he was having at his house and asked if I'd like to come. That was nothing unusual, so of course I accepted. He said it was going to be a small party, and there was only an exclusive list of people, so I could only invite someone if I had his permission. I thought that was weird, but I just shrugged it off. I figured he just wanted people he really knew. Maybe he's finally going to open up about the Marines. It's the one thought that I had that kept me rational of his odd behavior. I told Jay I could be a designated driver for anyone if need be, since I was pregnant with my son at the time. He was due in roughly 2 months, and I knew I obviously wouldn't be drinking, so I would make sure anyone would get home safe and sound. Jay said I didn't need to worry about that. It wasn't that kind of party. A couple of days pass and I don't hear from Jay, which is unusual, until I see his face on the local news. Jay and 2 of his friends, Stephen and Toby, were arrested for kidnapping, torture, murder, and abuse of a corpse. I immediately opened up my internet browser and started looking at the news articles that were all over our local news. The basic gist of everything that happened was as followed. Jay knew about this drug dealer that was dealing near his home. He didn't approve of it, and he planned a murder.
Bro said he didn't approve of it, as if the nigga owns the damn block.
To quote, rid the world of his evil. His first step was to set up a drug deal with the victim. That wasn't a hard task since he was a friend of a friend. He then convinced Stephen and Toby to go along with him. They met the victim at the location where the men kidnapped him. Jay had the man in the back seat and began beating him while the other 2 were in the front. There was actually one time they had to stop the car as the man got out, and they had to forcefully pull him back into the car. They took him to the woods where they began to torture him. Jay did most of the torture.
Holy shit, this Jay nigga's a fucking demon.
Fists, choking him almost to the point of unconsciousness and beating him with a metal bar. Jay's idea of torturing the man was to get information out of him on where he was getting his drugs. Jay wanted to get all of the names this man knew and continue to go up the ladder until he had murdered all of the dealers in this line before finding another and continuing on until he was caught.
This nigga on some fucking vigilante like path of doom. Bro just going around killing all the dealers. What we're watching a video called Reddit's Most Disturbing Stories. Yeah, who this nigga feeling like? Bro said, I want to go up the ladder of drug kingpins and kill all of them.
All planned out in his head on how he was gonna.
He said that, Twitch, not me.
After Jay had enough of the torture, he slit the victim's throat and stabbed him repeatedly in the chest with a knife they had brought. After Jay was sure the victim was dead, they dumped the body in a field, only for them to return the next day and dismember the man. They decapitated him, then cut off his arms, hands, legs, leaving his torso without any limbs attached to it. After they thought he was cut up enough, they disposed of the body.
They left the torso with no limbs?
Some of the places included a landfill, the field.
They disposed of the body in a couple different states.
Where they cut him up, garbage can behind a motel, and other locations they never disclosed. After a couple of days,
how the fuck? That's kind of crazy. How did they get caught? Because I feel like, what's good, Eli? What's good, bro? What's good? What is we watching? We're watching something called Reddit's Most Disturbing Stories.
Up confessing the murders to police. He told them every gory detail, and he disclosed all of the locations he knew about. The police arrested Jay and Stephen, and after showing them the evidence, they pleaded guilty to the murder as well. The head, hands, and feet never been found.
Damn. The only reason they were caught is because someone snitched. I'm not gonna lie. Reddit, hey man, I'm gonna head out, but have a good stream. Chill. I'm not a Reddit demon, bro. Don't worry. It's a tough vid. It's a tough vid. He be making like interesting vids. I just saw this shit and I was like, why not? Reddit done scared Brody away. Nah, no, it's not you. I'm just pussy. Nah, you good, bro. You get that. There's no shame in it, my boy. I know. Like, I have this other viewer. Shout out my nigga Kenzo, but that boy cannot stay for these videos to save his life. He fucking hates this scary shit. Roll my heart. What's good, albino?
Jay was sentenced to life in prison. Stephen was sentenced to 45 years, while Toby was sentenced to 35. Needless to say, I was shocked. Everyone was blowing on my phone, asking if I heard about Jay and what I thought about it. I didn't know what to think about. I was still dazed that it happened. The day before the party, I texted Jay's roommate.
I love scary shit. Nah, same. OMG, when this emo happened, like 2 streams ago, maybe. Vroel 2 kiss.
With everything that happened, I'm just gonna guess you aren't doing any party this weekend, right? What are you talking about? You know, everything with Jay? It wouldn't make sense to have the party he was planning. It would be kind of creepy, Jake. I know what happened with Jay, but I have no idea about a party. Jay said there was a party at your house this weekend. It was gonna be a small get-together. There was no party planned for this weekend, at least none I was aware of. I was supposed to go out of town and visit family, but with everything that happened, I've canceled those plans. I texted quite a few other mutual friends of ours. None of them had heard of a party either. I remember Jay saying,
Yo, so he hit her up for a party, but there was no party. That nigga was about to kill her. Damn. All right, bro, I'm about to go to sleep. Safety, my boy. Yo, safety, gang, safety. Stay safe. Hopefully I see you again. I mean, I'm streaming every single day till November 1st type shit, so... Yeah, and for those of you who are new to the stream and have yet to join the motherfucking Discord, hey, we do scary movie nights. Matter of fact, we could do one tonight if you guys want. You guys want to do a movie night tonight? Exclamation mark Discord. Join that if you haven't. You so close to the mic, it's like you're inside of my head. Shit kind of hot. My fault. I'll back up a little bit. What time? We could do one right after the stream on some shit. What time you gonna be live tomorrow? I'm gonna try to aim for I don't know if I'm doing anything tomorrow. I had plans, but I don't know if they stuck. Cause we kind of did like the people I had plans with for tomorrow, I went out with today. So I don't know if we're gonna do things. I don't know if we're gonna still go out tomorrow. Not gonna lie, fuck scary shit like jump scares and shit like that, but stories aren't that scary, so I can go to sleep. Yeah, stories don't be that scary, but Vroel miss the stream and increase the days? I might. I might just miss a day on purpose. Yeah, Vroel, what movie? Y'all wanna do another scary movie, like not a scary movie, but like, you know, the goddamn scary movies? They be funny as a bitch. These. Like, scary movie. This, for real. Link doesn't work? Wait, are you for real? Or do you guys want to watch like an actual genuine scary movie? I don't want the streak to end. Yeah, me neither, bruh. I might just miss on purpose and like push it to like 30. Why would the Discord not work? Who said Discord doesn't work? Yo, Real, what's your Discord? Maybe anti-rated dicked you. I think Dev is still up, so he should be able to help you join. Link should work. Says invalid for me. Hang on. Okay.
A few other mutual friends of ours. None of them had heard of a party either. I remember.
Yeah, make sure you're signed in.
Small party, but not even his absolute best friend had heard of it. There are many times I wondered what would have happened if Toby never had confessed. What if I would have went to Jay's party that no one else heard of?
He would have fucking killed you. That's what he would have did.
There wasn't a party. Changed my number.
For me too, invalid. That's what it says on a charger on Max's cord. What the fuck? Can anyone help, please? Yo, Dev. Any idea on why that might be?
And I moved to a completely different town. I go back every now and again, but I don't tell anyone I visit until I show up, just in case Jay gets paroled and wants to finish our party. Moderator. Original poster has submitted proof to the mods that this grisly murder and subsequent incarceration did indeed happen. Verified. A heartbreaking wedding band story. It's rare that a story from Reddit...
Is it because we kept leveling down and lost our vanity temporarily? Maybe. I mean, it works for me. V2K. Continue to Discord. We lost a minute, so I have to put it back. Okay, try again. Thank you, Dev. I appreciate that.
It uncovers real identities of people. So this is one of those special ones where there is sort of evidence behind it. In 2017, a user named More posted on the subreddit r/RBI, Reddit Bureau of Investigations, asking for help tracing owners of a wedding band. This could have been one of those typical Reddit posts that becomes a heartwarming story had the users not found the actual owners. This was the ring in question, with the engraved lettering FPLRMC 91917. The original poster had picked it up at a grocery store
It
parking lot
works?
in
Okay,
Missouri
good
in the late
shit, good shit.
1990s. A user
I
named
posted the server for I need them. Thank you, Night Zone. Mwah.
Acme tracked it to a couple, Frank P. Liston and Ruby Marie Crisp, via the website familysearch.org. The heartbreaking bit
link is working now. Y'all can join up.
I found a wedding band, looking for help deciphering the engraving on the inside. I found this wedding band on the ground about 20 years ago. Being just a kid, I kept it as a little treasure, so it's way too late to try to take it to the lost and found. Now, I'm trying to figure out a little more information about it, like how old it is, where it was made, and of course, who it may belong to. It's very thick and heavy compared to many of the wedding bands that I've seen. The ring size on it is probably a 6 or smaller. The jeweler/maker's engraving is the only thing that I'm confident on what it says, which is APNB 14K.
14K.
The initials and the date are a little trickier due to the faded script lettering. I have an idea on what it says, FPL-RMC 91917, but I would like to have some fresh eyes on it. I picked the ring up in a grocery store parking lot, I think, in Missouri in the mid to late 1990s.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
User Acme. Got it. Frank P.
You're back that 2 a.m. vibe sitting right now. That nigga just got horny. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And Ruby Marie Crisp. And Frank was indeed from St. Louis. Apparently just got married in Arkansas. Damn, Ruby died the next year. There's soon to be a bunch of Crisps around Louis. Apparently just
got it. Thanks for it's my first ever
got married in Arkansas.
Yo, he found the fucking.
Damn, Ruby in Missouri in the mid to late 1990s. Thanks. User Acme.
Interesting.
Got it. Frank P. Liston and Ruby Marie Crisp. And Frank was indeed from St. Louis. Apparently just got married in Arkansas. Damn, Ruby died the next year. There's soon to be a bunch of Crisps around with Ruby Marie as a family name. This might have been her dad. Frank Philip Liston served stateside in World War I. It looks like Frank remarried and moved to Philly. Also of note, he registered for the draft as Liston, and census records read Liston or Liston. But that link should be a good start if you wanted to find the family. More responded with, findagrave.com help fill in some blanks. Frank died in 1959 and is buried in Philadelphia. Ruby died in 1918 and is buried in Pulaski County, Arkansas. She most likely died as a result of giving birth to her son, Francis Jr., who also died around the same time.
Okay.
A dumb way to get rid of your steak you don't want. So, a wife is invited to dinner at her boss's house. She brings along her
A
husband.
dumb way to get rid of steak that you don't want.
Who she believes does dumb shit all the time. Wife is invited to dinner at her boss's house. She brings along her husband, who she believes does dumb shit all the time. During mealtime, the husband is served an undercooked steak. His attempt to get out of eating it was to throw it straight out the window across the dining table. Turns out the window was closed, and so the steak hit it, making a major mess of dripping blood. And then the three got into a very awkward moment. What makes this story interesting is that it was told from the side of the husband. His post went viral, and the wife. The husband's version has some hilarious comments because there's not a right way to justify what he did, especially when the boss's house was on the 3rd floor of a story building. Today,
why the fuck would he do that? So the nigga's gonna get, bro, you're having dinner at your wife's boss's house. And you don't want it, you have steak that you don't want. So you take it and you fucking, you try to toss it out the window? What? What happened to the OG pic? The black boy face? Yeah. What's good, Skells? How you been, bro? How you been?
I fucked up by throwing my steak out a window. Last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated many times to me just how important it was to make a good impression. I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I always make good impressions. My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it was just the three of us. We chit-chatted over drinks and salads and seemed to be really hitting it off. She laughed at my well-timed, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. Soon, she brought the main course, a nice big juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover discover how undercooked this steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I probably
Several
could have
minutes on a hot
resuscitated
grill
the
short
cow
of
had
rare.
I tried. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was gonna get away with not eating this steak. Claim veganism? No, I'd already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing the steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at the open window of this third-story apartment, a cartoon light bulb appeared over my head. I knew I had to be decisive.
Like, you
realizing
don't
that she
toss
would
the
return at any
fucking
moment.
steak. He's a
Committed, I grabbed the
bot.
steak with my hand, gently shook off the juice.
You couldn't
executed a perfect
you couldn't at
bite
least
through the
see if
center
it
of
was
the open
fucking
window. Here's the big time
closed
fuck up.
or
The window
opened.
wasn't open. It was the cleanest freaking window you've ever seen in your life. That is, until my mostly raw slab of steak slammed against it and slowly slid down, leaving a bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was a nice medium rare and was unaware of my predicament, turned, jaw dropped, and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. This look then slowly morphed into more of a "there is no place on this planet you can ever hide from me" expression of demonic anger.
Yeah, you gotta like, oh my god, this has to be an insane fucking scenario. Like, I imagine you're with your wife, right? You're with your wife, and you take her to, like, your boss invites you for dinner, and you take your wife there with you, and y'all get steak, and then your boss goes up to do whatever with the dessert, and out of nowhere, your fucking wife picks up the steak and tosses it at the window just for the window to be closed and that steak to hit that shit and slide down. Yo, that would probably be like one of the most random shits ever. I'm trying to boost your server, but it's trying to make me pay even though I got nitro. Here, if you go into settings and then server boost. Yeah, like this. If you go to settings and server boost, it should have like servers right here that you could boost. How was my day? My day was pretty good. I can't complain at all. What about you?
My wife's boss heard the thud of the steak on window impact and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the bloody trail, the empty plate, and then gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like a minute of silence, but was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could manage was, I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. I don't know. I was cutting it and it slipped. Just ask my wife.
It slipped?
I really am a klutz. Right, honey? No help coming from that direction. I'll clean this up. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. Both women continued to stare at me like I had escaped the loony bin. As I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted off the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent explanation. I knew no one was buying the story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat
Ew.
disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody raw steak. I remained pretty
Niggas still ate it? Ugh. Disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody, raw steak? I remain pretty quiet the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incidents are, I'm fine. Nigga about to get divorced over that shit. Yo, I go there, it says I boost my server and max the server. I can't boost them though, the fuck. Oh, it's probably because it's been, like, you have to wait, like, I think 2 weeks or something from the date of your boost before you boost the server.
quiet the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident are, I'm fine. Today, I fucked up by allowing my husband to come to dinner at my boss's
Yo, they
house.
both
This
made
actually took place
posts?
a couple years ago. I just got on a brand new job that I was really
Yo.
excited about. So I was delighted when my boss, who I had been trying to establish a rapport with, invited me and my husband over to her home for dinner. Well, mostly delighted. My husband is, well, he's the sweetest, but he has a history of doing really dumb shit. Because of this, I was worried about him coming along. By the time the day
How
of
they
the dinner
both made
arrived, I became
posts.
so anxious about it that I actually floated the idea by my boss that I wasn't sure if he would be able to make it. She clearly was taken aback and responded, "Oh no, I really hope he can. I have dinner for 3 all ready to go." Upon seeing her dismay, I assured her that I was sure he would find a way to get there. Well, we made it over to her apartment on time and things actually started out really, really well. It was actually just the 3 of us, which surprised me somewhat, but made me a little less
It's time to
concerned
play
about my
Discord.
husband, as crowds really tend to bring out his
I've been boosting my access
ability.
server
I had
since
just
April.
started to
man.
finally relax and was a couple bites into
Why
this
is this
deliciously cooked steak when things
boosting
took
them?
a horrible turn. My boss had just
Yeah,
stepped into
Discord's
the
trying to
kitchen check
scam
the
your
dessert when I
ass.
noticed something odd out of the corner of my eye. It was one of those
Either
things
way,
where
I
something
appreciate
is
it, bro.
happening in your peripheral, but you're not sure what. You have to look over and focus your gaze to really comprehend it. I look over at my husband and see him holding his steak in his hand, hovering it just an inch or two above his plate. Before I had a chance to fully comprehend what I was seeing and verbalize something that might have saved all of us from the coming horror, he threw his steak, baseball style, across the room straight into the dining room window. It hit the window, making a loud noise.
Zero
Slowly
fucking
down. Now, my
awareness
husband does
of
dumb
anything.
shit. I already told you that, but he's not a crazy person. Usually when he does dumb shit, I at least understand what he's thinking. There's usually some semblance of rhyme or reason to do the dumb shit. In this case, I was just dumbfounded. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't wrap my head around what was going on. I stared at him with what must have been the most confused look and watched as he stared back at me, an expression of utter horror painted across his face. I couldn't make any sense of what was happening, but I also didn't have time to try. I heard the footsteps of my boss coming to see what the sound was. It suddenly sunk in that it didn't matter why he did what he did. He did it, and we were all about to come face to face with a
You don't gotta pay for the boost, bro. You don't
I
gotta
could feel
pay for the
anger
boost.
flush in
You're
my
good.
face. For a brief moment, I contemplated trying to help my husband get out of this, but no. This was his
I feel
dumb
bad.
shit bed, and he could lie in it. Not like there was any possible
late.
recovery anyway. My boss walks in and sees the steak lying on the window.
Real nigga motherfucking Smurfy. Real nigga Smurfy. Real nigga Smurfy. But real nigga lemonade, bro. Paying for a boost is insane. Paying for a boost is like, bro. And this nigga got. Fuck, I feel bad, bro. How much is a boost? Like a actual straight up paid boost. But this shit $349. Bro, $349 is crazy when Nitro was what, $10? It was only like $2. Either way, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, Lemonade. Mwah. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
There's
And the
fucking
server.
longest, most awkward pause where we all just sit there.
W Lemonade. W Vroel 2 Kiss.
The ball into his core as the cringe just hangs in the air like an ocean fog. He finally manages to mutter some incoherent garbage about being a klutz and even tries to get me to back him up. I leave his ass out to dry in the deafening silence. He makes a poor attempt at cleaning the window and retrieves his steak. Mercifully, my boss asks me a question about work, and we both dive eagerly into the conversation. We all resume the rest of the evening pretending that he isn't there, a sort of unspoken agreement by all that this is the only way to move forward. As soon as we got to the car, my husband turned into a nervous chatterbox trying to explain himself. Turns out the dumbass didn't like the way his steak was cooked. Rare. And get this, he thought the window was open. My husband, ladies and gentlemen, tried to chuck his steak out a 3-story window. He thought that was a reasonable solution.
This nigga's a little boy.
Cooked steak. A year or so later, my boss hosted a Christmas party for the company at her newly built home. My best friend Jenny was my +1. No, my husband told this story from his perspective a couple years ago, and it was a popular post. Someone suggested I should tell it from my perspective. Hope our discomfort brings a little joy to you fine Redditors. Edit. Okay guys, I probably overplayed the dumb shit angle. Yeah, he's known for acting without thinking things through, but this one moment does not represent the norm. From my perspective, in this moment, he looked like a loony bin character gone mad, which is what makes the story so funny in retrospect. Go read
2
his
for 1
perspective
boost,
and
crazy,
actually
bro.
look at least a little bit less crazy. My
That's a
husband
large
is
drink in a
fun-loving, kind husband and
McDonald's.
father who makes life
Hungry
very
as
fun.
fuck.
Edit 2. No,
I got
my husband is not
leftovers
on the spectrum or
downstairs. I'm
crazy.
too
Although
hungry.
I get that
Bro said no, my husband is not on the spectrum.
All you know is this one event. The usual dumb shit.
What
is
boosting
more of
even
an
do?
everyday impulsive
It
thing.
allows
Immediately saying the
for-
slightly inappropriate thing that comes to mind. If you would have done that.
Level 1 is 100 emoji slots, 24 soundboard slots, animated server icon, better quality audio. Level 2 HD streaming 50 megabyte file uploads, custom role icons, server banners. Level 3 custom server invite link, the vanity link, 100 megabyte file uploads, highest quality audio, animated server banner, and 300 video stage seats. And you can get a custom role for boosting the server. So you can find that in the booster role section.
That wouldn't have shocked me at all. This, of course, shocked me because he normally doesn't do things that make him look insane. Not sure why some seem to be taking the he often does dumb shit to mean he often does completely insane things, when I feel I was making the exact opposite point. Oh well, glad that most of you got some small bit of enjoyment out of your day from the story. Also, we all have our faults. I joke about my husband not thinking things through. He jokes about my preoccupation with what others think of me. All right, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know.
Go vid, Tavi, go vid.